I'm Sharon Bill. Welcome to my Theory Tuition series where I'll lead you step by step through the ABRSM Theory Grades. We're going to continue with the last questions of paper C of this Grade 3 Music Theory past papers from 2016. There are loads of resources available to help you on my website. If you visit sharonbill.com, you'll find some free PDF information sheets. They're available to download in US letter or A4 to accompany each step of this series. Everything you need to know can be found in these PDF documents. There's also a page with links to all of my YouTube video tutorials, and so if you want to revise some topics leading up to taking this paper, all of the questions in the music theory and practice workbooks I've gone through with you step by step in those YouTube video tutorials. You can also access information about some books that I have available. I've written How to Take Your ABRSM Music Theory Exam, and it's full of tips and techniques on how to best prepare for your exam, and also how to best make use of the time when you're in the exam room taking your exam paper. So if you visit sharonbill.com, it's all there for you. If you can give me a like, that'd be fab, and subscribe to my channel to keep updated. There's loads more to come. And so if you grab your pencil, make sure you've got a sharp pencil, an eraser and a ruler, and then we're all ready to go. And then turn with me please in your booklet to page 11, and we're going to crack on with question 7. I always recommend that you try these questions on your own first of all. It's always better to learn by your mistakes. Doesn't matter if you get it wrong, you'll learn by it much more thoroughly that way. And so I'm hoping you've had a go of this yourself, and now I'm going to work through these last questions with you. So question 7 asks us to write out, using semi-breves or whole notes, 1 octave of the scales that they've named below. So we need to write out the scale of D major descending, that's coming downwards, with a key signature. We're in treble clef. And so you just need to be absolutely sure of your key signatures, the major and minor key signatures. I always write them out before I even start a paper. That's what I recommend for my pupils to do as well. And so D major has a key signature of F sharps and C sharps, positioned carefully on the stave there. And we're descending, so if we start on a top D, every good boy deserves, and then come down in step, making sure it's line, space, and then you know, because scale literally means step. And if we do 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, we should end on D, and that's correct. And so that's now complete. The next question asks for F melodic minor ascending without a key signature, but any necessary sharps or flats. So F minor, of course, must begin on F. We'll start on a low F. We know this bottom note is G, good boys deserve, so one below that is F. And so let's just get our notes in place, and then we can worry about what accidentals to add in a moment. So we know we're going in the right direction. So F minor is related to A flat major, so we need a key signature or replacement accidentals of B flats, E flats, A flats and D flats. However, it's a good job we're working in pencil, because a melodic minor in its ascending form has the 6th and the 7th raised. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6 and 7 raised means we lose those flats. They become natural. And so you can either leave them exactly as naturals, because that is now correct, or you can show that you've know to have raised those by putting your natural sign in brackets to just show that you understand you've raised those, not just forgotten them. There we go then, so that's complete. And then we turn over the page to the last question. So page 12, question 8. Again, have a go with this first of all by yourself, and then re-access into the video and I'll go through it with you. So I'm hoping that you've done that. And now we'll look at it together. So all of the questions will be relating back to this little piece of music here by Beethoven, an adaptation of a Beethoven piece, just out of interest. Now question A, all of this part of the exam paper in the revised syllabus and on the revised exam papers from 2018 onwards, these will be presented to you in multiple choice format. However, we'll carry on and we'll answer these and give definitions just because it's good revision to do so. So, give the meaning of grazioso, and I would suggest that's pretty obvious as gracefully or graceful. Molto means much or very, and semplice is simple or plain. There we go, that's those. P is short for piano, which means softly or soft or quiet. There we go, that's soon done. Let's move on to the next part of this question. So it asks us to describe the time signature, so we need to decide whether it's simple or compound time, and is it duple, triple or quadruple. So let's look at our time signature. Well, we're counting in crotchet beats or quarter notes, and you can see that we're always dividing into groups of 2. And that would tell us we are in simple time. And then we can see there are 3 beats per bar, and so we're in triple time. So we're in simple, triple. There we go, that's soon done. Let's move on to question B. So the first question of section B asks us to look through the music and see how many times does this rhythm occur. So we're just using observational skills. Well, we're looking for this 3/4, quarter of a beat. Let's just glance through. The pitch is irrelevant, we're just looking at the rhythm. We can see it occurs once, twice, 3 times, 4, 5, 6 times. There's that one. Nice easy one there, just a little bit of observation required. The second question of B. The melody is in the key of G major. How many times does the 3rd degree of the scale occur in this melody? So if we're in the scale of G major, we need to work out which is the 3rd. 1, 2, 3. G is the 1st, A is the 2nd, B is the 3rd. So we're looking how many times does note B occur in this melody. And that can be in any octave, so just be careful. So there's the, let's have a look, we're in treble clef, so there's the key note G, we're looking for B's, G, A, B, so there's one, G, A, B, keep glancing, there's one, and there's one, and so we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Just have a last double check. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, there we go. Okay. Draw a circle around a note in the melody that is not in the key of G major. So in the key of G major we would expect F sharps, and that's already accounted for in the key signature. And so we need to look what might not fit within that. And here we've got a C sharp, which is not part of that. So there's our circle. Make that a bit more obvious. That's not in our G major scale structure. The next question, give the letter name of the highest note in the melody. So we've just got to glance through. Now there's lots of ledger lines here, so we've just got to make sure we get to the uppermost of these. Here this is the space above the 2nd, but now we're on to the 3rd ledger line, and we can work this out in 2 ways. We can either work from one note that we already understand and read easily. So every good boy deserves football, F, G, A, B, C, D, E. So we know that's note E. Alternatively, you can count down, including this in your counting, and count the octave. 1, 3, 5, 7, 8. We know that that's an E, an octave higher. So you can work that out on whichever system you feel comfortable using, or use both and double check your answer. Last one in this section. Answer true or false to this statement. The melody begins on the third beat of the bar. So when it doesn't begin on the first beat of the bar, that's known as an anacrusis. And so let's just have a look at this. We've got an upbeat. So there should be 3 beats in a bar. We've only got 1 beat here. And it usually transpires that the phrasing matches up and those missing 2 beats are found at the end of a piece or at the end of a phrase. And so if there are 3 beats in a bar, this would be the last beat. That's a full crotchet beat or quarter note beat, and so that would be beat 3 of this incomplete bar. So that's correct. So that's true. Okay, and so the next question, let's have a think about this. This is the last question. Using the blank stave above, so it's positioned at the top of the page for convenience, write out the melody from the beginning of bar 5. Just be careful here we get the right bar numbers that we're copying or referring to the end of the music, using notes and rests of half the value. We've got to halve it, and then we've got to put in the new time signature and group the notes appropriate to that time signature. So at the moment, this is in 3 beats in a bar. They're crotchet beats or quarter notes, and so to halve that, we still need to be in triple time. So we still need 3 beats in a bar, but half this value will be quavers or 8th notes, and so our time signature will be 3/8. And so we've got to go from bar 5 to the end of the music, and so I'm going to just position my bar lines underneath theirs, keep everything aligned, and that way I'm not going to get confused. Now, in terms of beaming, this is going to be an easier job, because in 3/8 we can just beam everything together. Quavers and semiquavers and so on are all beamed together. And so we've got to halve everything. So this is a minim, so half of a minim or a half note is a crotchet or a quarter note. Same note head, but these are going to be half the value. And so I'm going to do this now just to demonstrate. So at the moment that's got 1 line showing a quaver at 8th, so we need 2 lines to halve it, and then because it's dotted we now need to add another line to halve that one. So you can see how it's going to look. 1, 2, 3/8 notes, or 3 quaver beats. And so that's a 1 beat, and then this rhythm is going to be exactly the same. So we just transplant what we've done to the same rhythm here. There we go. Now at the moment that's a crotchet or a quarter note. That will become a quaver, so that we're going to have to beam that. So I'm just going to get the note heads in straight away, because after this everything's going to be beamed. Need a sharp sign. I'm keeping everything reasonably aligned, and that way I know I'm not going to run out of space as well. Natural sign. Oh, shall I just reposition that? Starting to float up a bit there. Let's do the lines first of all. There we go. I think I've wandered off a bit there. That's okay. Okay, so that will become a single quaver or 8th note, halve that, etc. And then we don't need a bar line. So okay, so all of these can be beamed together. Three-eighths the only time that we can do that. Let's just get the angle correct on the beam. And then just because we're getting in very, very small increments, I'm going to keep these. This one line's going to join them all, and then we need 3 lines now to show that these are demi-semiquavers, or 32-32nd notes. And that way, even though everything's beamed together, we can see 1 quaver beat, 2 quaver beats, 3 quaver beats. We're not quite there though. That's all the thinking done. However, I want to just put in all of these articulation marks. We've got the rest, just because we can give every final detail to make sure that we earn those full 10 points. And there we go, we should have got 10 for that. So that's the end of that paper. I do hope that's been helpful to you. If you can give me a like, that'd be great. And please subscribe to my channel to keep updated. There's loads more to come. That might be the end of that paper, but there's lots more in store. And please do visit sharonbill.com and make use of all of the information there. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.